Aloha all. This is my podcast number 32. It's the going on the theme of Valentine's Day and love. So this one's called Tools for Connecting in Love. Okay, a couple of things I want to bring up. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. If you're single and suffering, don't do it. Find something fun to do, something for yourself, with your pet, with your best friend, with a family member, and just know it's no reflection and things could change at any minute. I like the old, for any of you that have watched Sex and the City in the day, I liked that one party they had, which you could do that for Valentine's Day, where you have a party, have everyone bring an appetizer and something to drink, and to bring a guest of the opposite sex that they're not interested in. So you can do that and see if you could have your own little Match.com thing happening, and maybe you find someone for yourself. I think that's a lot of fun. Try it, you'll like it. Okay, so last week I had Marta on and I loved it. And I don't edit my podcasts, as I've said before. And I listened to the podcast and I saw that she actually asked a question that I kind of answered, but I'd like to go in a little deeper in that, where she asked advice about when it's hard to talk to your partner about things that are challenging or that bother you. How to navigate that. And so always the answer is to have regular check-ins time scheduled. That does help, and regular could be daily or weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, but have a schedule of it. And then always, as I say, start with an agreed upon time that you're going to talk about this. And then you could start by saying, you know what, this is uncomfortable, and like this brings up my fears and how you're feeling, and you want to talk about a specific behavior and what that's doing for you. So at that point, you could give feedback. Your partner, so you're talking, your partner gives you feedback about what they heard you say, or you say, yes, that's what I meant, but with this little caveat that you didn't hear me say, until it's clear. When both of you are on the same page and know what you're talking about, then they comment. They always thank you for speaking up, thank you for sharing that, and then for addressing this. And then they comment on what they're willing to do or not do about it. Now, there are other skills, and again, we created a workshop to teach you different levels of skills on whatever happens, so I'll talk about that soon. But learning to speak your truth with vulnerability is a learned skill. So my answer, Marta, and to everyone out there, is practice, practice, practice. And there is a way to speak kindly and compassionately without it being aggressive or defensive or any of that. So here's the plug for our workshop, Be a Relationship Architect. I do a meetup once a month, so if you're in Austin and South Austin, you could see when I post that. I actually haven't posted the one yet for later this month. I may hold off until the beginning of March because I've been a little busy. But our workshop is going to be March 21st and 22nd, and that is $300 or two people. And I don't care if you're friends or partners or mother, daughter, or brothers, whatever you want. Two for $500, and that's from 10 to 5, and lunch will be included in that. So we actually have a contract that you will take home and use and utilize forever. As Marta was sharing, it takes at least, I told everyone in the workshop last time that you're not even going to integrate all this for 30 days. Like that's how the brain works and the process works. Like some things hit you right away and you take a lot of notes and you write things in your contract, but it takes at least 30 days, which is the cycle physiologically for creating new behaviors and patterns and cell renewal and all those things that to really start to integrate it and be able to articulate it better and all those things. So there's going to be many hands-on exercises, process-oriented, to help work through past wounds. And we're going to learn how to communicate in a healthy, non-threatening, open, compassionate way that not only gets results, it brings you closer together and creates the new neurons in our brain where you both feel heard and seen, and then you want more intimate connection and all that juicy feeling. Why not? So I like to share my personal experiences from my past and present because it's how I've always taught, and when we can be real, then sometimes people benefit from that. So I had this event happen with a partner when I was on vacation, and he said something that was, I responded in a hurtful way. It really hurt me. And I am a counselor, so I know some things immediately, but I immediately commented and said something like, that's not working for me or whatever. I don't know what I said, but I remembered at the time that I felt so triggered that I realized I was more defensive, which is a behavior that cannot be heard, than I was coming from my feelings and how it affected me. So, of course, when things like that happen, I went to bed. I pretended like I went to bed and struggled all night. The next morning, my partner's like, okay, do you want wanted a little physical intimacy? And I said, no, I'm not able to. I didn't say no or shrug him off or anything unkind. I just said, no, I'm not able to. I need to clear this and talk first. And then, when I could come from an open heart, instead of the loop that went on in my head over and over and over again, because this is what we do as humans, is we run the dialogue over and over and over again. And that's a term towards the cycle of abuse, because we just hear it over and over and it's like it's continually happening to us. So unfortunately, that relentless mind will not let us forget hurtful things, and we just keep reliving it. Anyways, I wanted to get over the loop, and I needed at least the evening to pass, and the next morning I wasn't feeling much better. But part of it was, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna not bring this up because we only have so many days left on vacation. I didn't want to ruin the vacation. Yet I realized, who am I kidding? When something comes up, I have to speak it as soon as I'm able to bring it to my mouth. Meaning, as soon as I've felt it out enough and looked at it and can speak it without a charge, without my emotional reaction to it. So, and I wanted to have like a connection. So, when we can speak without blame just how your partner's words affected you, and then be able to hear what they meant, or even be able to accept an apology, that moment, that opens a door. And that opened a door for me and for us, and it took us to a deeper place for both of us. Again, this was not even anticipated or planned. It was just off the wall. But if we didn't do it in a healthy, appropriate way, and we chose to repress it or push on or have sex or ignore it or let's go eat or hike or whatever, then the truth is our hearts would have been closed and protected. We would have been a little impatient with each other, and it would not have been a nice trip or a nice life. If this doesn't happen on vacation, this is like real time too. So instead of this newly found emotional adventure that evoked trust and care for both of us, we decided to have that adventure, and then it brought us closer together. So sometimes you may not have the words in the moment. Yes, I am a life coach. I know how to speak appropriately. Yet to have the courage to say, and this was in my late teens when I would want to speak and had the courage to speak, I would say something like, something didn't feel right with what you just said. That I was able to say from the beginning. Something doesn't feel right with what you said, because I'd have this little sensation in my belly and it would just be like a little subtle tingle. Now you got to know, I've gone through decades of clearing my mind from the clutter, clearing my body from the toxins, clearing my emotions from past wounds, and so many things. And I've worked very hard where I don't really have a mechanism or a protection over my heart. So it makes me have to be more responsible with who I interact with on my personal time and what circumstances I go into, because I can't like go watch some violent movie at Alamo Draft House because it affects me. Like things affect me. I don't have the filter that most humans do, and I don't want to have the filter. I want to feel life real and raw. Anyway, but having the courage in the moment to say something like, I'm feeling hurt or closed or shut down to your partner, or I'm not able to talk right now. And until I get clear on what I'm feeling, I can't. So, something like, I don't feel connected to you right now because of my feelings, and I want to. So, do you see how that kind of lands differently when you can share with that little voice that's scared that you're going to be abandoned or judged or not loved? That you say, I don't feel connected to you right now because of my feelings, and I want to. So that last part of I want to, if the person you're with is supposed to be in your life and they are of any value, that will open. Those are like magic words. That's like fireworks. Everything goes off. This is what relating is all about. Being in romantic love, or even this can happen like this type of event that's hurtful and with a friend or with a family member, and to just have those raw and real words. And again, I'm going to repeat it. Something like, I don't feel connected to you right now because of my feelings, because of what was said. And I want to. How about that? And sometimes it could take hours and it could take a couple days. I would recommend, even if you are a water sign or an earth sign, yes, astrology does come into this a little bit because it takes longer to actually feel what you're feeling and to be able to articulate it, as an air and fire sign can verbalize very quickly. Earth and water cannot. It's more feeling and it takes a while to build it. So that's some advice I have. So be it Valentine's Day or just a spontaneous love connection, the exercises we mentioned, writing letters or cards of appreciation for each other. Marta brought that up, that they had her brothers and family and friends do that for her birthday. And I said that would be a wonderful thing to do with a love interest, to write a letter of appreciation. And another exercise that can be done on a regular schedule is something I made up called I Wish. So I Wish helps you to communicate challenging things in an easier format. So either you ask for time to do this exercise or have it weekly on your schedule. And I would recommend people, we're in a day and age that everything is so overstimulated and time is an illusion and there's never enough time and all that other blah, blah, blah. But regardless if you're just dating or in a current relationship or together forever, for you to schedule on your phones, on your appointment books, any dates, intimacy time, group projects that you're doing together, exercising together, etc. All of them need to be scheduled It's not being unromantic, it's being, we are logical and linear beings, and it's not about when there is space, because there never will be space unless we claim it. This is about us committing to the life we want. This is why formats or contracts to commitment are very good and help with follow through. They have higher probability of actually occurring and being a habit that sticks. So the I wish game is speaking about a behavior of yours or your significant other that you want to address and would like a new outcome. So an example, I wish I didn't feel insecure and not as important of a priority to you when I see you tired and when you show up for our date night. And I wish that you either feel comfortable enough to reschedule with me or make our date night a priority and plan for it so you're not tired, like take a nap. Or if it's work or busyness or basketball or something that you say, okay, I'm not going to do that tonight because I want to be ready for this date. Like, I want to see that. So speaking about the behavior and how you feel about it, and one or two options that would feel better, even if it's your own behavior. So this would be something, an example if this was mine. I wish whenever I feel tired, I didn't push myself to be so responsible and a person of my word. I wish I felt safe enough in this relationship to share that, and telling you this was vulnerable and scary for me. And then you ask for your partner to comment. So your partner comments, and whatever they say in this moment will be impactful and perhaps open a new space and dialogue to share deeper. Okay, here is an example of a common trigger that I've heard from people. Annoying habits. It says, I wish when we were out in public together, I felt like the most important, beautiful person in your life. When I see you looking at other women, I feel so worthless and insecure. You ask the partner to comment and see what happens there. Now, if the partner's defensive, you can say, I didn't mean to judge you. I just wanted you to know how it makes you feel, how it makes me feel. And then sometimes that can unwind it. Now, if the person absolutely can't go there and doesn't come back in the next day or so saying, okay, in the moment I felt judged, or will you point out to me, I don't even realize when I do it. Do you know how many men in counseling have said, I don't even realize when I do it? And I believe them. I believe that's true. So if you have an opening where you can say, where you gently like touch their hand or something, and that will be the key where they know, okay, wait, I shouldn't be doing that, then hopefully they could change that pattern. And if they can't, again, make choices. Do you really want someone like that who stays unconscious in your life? Okay. Anytime you do any of these exercises or where you go in a little deep, make sure that you hug at the end of them. So doing an I wish to clear unconscious annoying behaviors is a great bonding tool and allows for longevity and trust to build. I teach connection. I always teach. So my philosophy is the connection with yourself reflects the depth, the trust, and the love you can share and experience with another person, which is always why my two foundational life-changing workshops are the Be a Relationship Architect that I teach with David Garrison. He is also a coach and has a master's in counseling and many other highly cultivated skills. And we're going to have him on another podcast because it's time for us to we did one on my podcast 6, and our workshop evolved so much from that point that we need an update. Anyways, I'm hoping to do that soon. So, my other workshop that I teach is a 30-day self-empowerment. So this is good for transformation. This is good for finding your own leader inside, for like just upping your game. And this works on all levels. So for healthcare professionals, I teach a version of this called Total Client Renovation Certification, and that is an advanced life coach certification. So if you're already counseling or massaging, estheticians, life coaching, personal trainers, nurses, all of those things, any of those things, if you're already doing that, I'll give you a format how to like take your clients through other areas where you're not so strong on. And so I have done my podcasts already in January talking about upping your game in 2020. Well, I went through this period where I came back from Maui, the beginning of January. I came back like around the 17th, and I found that I couldn't quite get into the work mode. I don't know when to schedule my workshops, my meetup, and then I'm like, okay, I need to honor this because this is what's going on for me. And I have in the past tended to over push myself. And then when I over push myself, when I'm not really feeling strong or capable, then I collapse and then I sabotage and then I beat myself up and failure and different things happen, and I don't want to go there anymore. So this time I saw, okay, I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to see that I'm not feeling so strong or so proactive, or I don't have a vision of what to do. And the more I sat with that, it took 3 days of just really allowing that tenderness, okay, I guess I can't move forward right now. And I had to be okay with that. I had to have a deep acceptance of that, of what is. And when I accepted that, I had this wonderful experience the next morning in my meditation. It started, and then I did a sauna, and then working out. And in all those cases where all my information comes through, because my mind is not like focusing on something, it's just kind of in the moment, I decided I'm upping my own game, and I'm changing the whole 30-day format to involve a contract, because I found even with Marta and my other participants how valuable that contract is. Like to do a workshop and have this piece of paper that you've invested in, your insights and revelations that have come to you that you get to write down and later add to it. So I'm formatting it where you'll have a contract, and I'm going to have specific questions before the 30 days starts, where I want to do evaluations of your dietary level and your exercise level, your mental processes and your emotional, where your blocks and past wounds and things are. So we're going to do every level of that. And then we're going to actually work on steps. So this is how I do my private coaching, as I do this with someone. If someone just comes to me and they're depressed or anxiety or can't make their life move forward, then I actually have the freedom to say, okay, we're going to do it my way. And I call it rebuilding from the inside out or the ground up. So this formatting we're going to do in this 30-day certification that I do. And each week we will evaluate, as I said, and then I'll give a lecture followed by your personal contract agreements for change, and you're going to fill those in with your insights. We're going to do interactive exercises, not only journaling and different meditations that I'm going to give you, but also some yoga and physical movements and things that are anywhere from 1 to 5 minute exercises that you could eventually progress into 30 and 60-minute gym workouts or yoga workouts and mat things. So yeah, so depending on wherever you're at. So, and then you'll have homework also. So this is, like Marta said, it is like a college course. You are going to be thoroughly transformed, and I guarantee you won't have a clue much, except you'll know that you are different and changed. And it will take a couple of months for you to see how you show up differently to the same people, the same circumstances, and what is new about you. Your body will be cleaner because we're doing a detox, and your diet, we're going to adjust that. And on the last week, we're actually going to see how you could take this home with you, like how you can integrate this on a regular basis. And I'm going to get pretty specific about how much vegetables and fruit and carbs and protein and what proteins, and are you vegetarian, what's your blood type. We're going to get into a lot of those things. So I'm very excited about this. I guarantee transformation. And when it comes to the mind, our exercises on learning to focus the mind in positive thinking, leaving outdated beliefs to create new ideas and new avenues never explored before. Then the week we do emotional evaluation, there's a tracking that we're going to do that I want you to do throughout the 30 days for the morning and the evening. And it's going to be a very simple format that you can do that. And each week I'm holding you accountable, and we're going to do a check-in, and okay, let's look at that. Let's look at your diet, your exercise, what have you done in journaling? What have you done for your emotional check-in? And then I'll explain that week of emotional detoxification is the negative and positive expressions of anger, sadness, and fear, and we'll determine where you're stuck. I talk about having a default mode of a major emotion and a minor emotion, as if we're going to college, but it's the college of life that we have, like major in anger, minor in fear, things like that. So you will have homework to do, and if you have past relations that are holding your energy and your heart hostage, I want to help facilitate you reclaiming both of those back. And we are going to do some letters to make amends and to help process that. They're extremely effective, life-changing letters, even if it's people that have passed. I have worked with many clients that have unresolved issues with people that have passed, or people that have bailed that they have no more contact with, and you do not need them in front of you for you to heal. I will show you how to heal and get resolution on your own. Anyways, all along throughout this 30 days, I'm going to be guiding you and instructing and altering what you need. And whatever is holding you back, we are going to make you accountable with all those steps. Some will be easier for you, some you will want to avoid, and I will gently, compassionately push you forward, supporting you along the way. So, this spectacular 30-day transformation is going to be in South Austin, these are all Thursday evenings, March 26th, April 2nd, April 9th, April 16th, and that's going to be, you could show up anywhere from 6:30, but we're going to start 7 to 9, and that is $300, or 2 people for $500, and that's in-house, and I do have rooms in South Austin. If you want to spend a month here, why not? I'll give you a discount. Or you can do this at your convenience, one-on-one, via the internet, FaceTime, Skype, Messenger, and that is $500 for that private 4 weeks, and those are 2-hour sessions each week. And again, just know you need to commit to this 30 days to eating a specific way, doing these exercises, and if you're not ready to, then wait, because don't waste your money. I want you to say, I want to change my life. I want my energy back. I want my clarity back. I want life purpose and direction and all of that. So I will be there for a lot of text, TEXT support. If it becomes way more where you need a full session during those 30 days, I will give you half off my regular life coach counseling sessions, which those are normally $100 for 1 hour, or 2 sessions for $150, and I will give you during the 30 days $50 an hour. And anyways, so I'm here to help facilitate you upping your game and creating the life you've always wanted. And I'm committing to upping my game. And Each week we're going to work on that contract and fill that in, and at the end you will have it finished and you will read it out loud either to the group or to me, and we are going to put a time frame and goals for the next year, 5 years, or 10 years or further, and have priorities and how we're going to execute that. So it's going to be great. Now, another thing, I did want to bring up something else. So I talked last time about my favorite little, one of my spiritual things, that the Buddha talks about all suffering is due to all suffering is due to our attachments. It's due to our attachments and our aversions. So sometimes in relationships, you have the person that's too needy and clingy, or you have the person that's blocking or moving away. Both of those are the sin. Both of those are the imbalance. And the way to stay present is to not have suffering or pain, is to be neutral, is to have your mind in a curious state or a witness state, which I've said or will talk about a lot in this workshop when we get into the mental detox, is the alpha state. So the alpha state is help stimulated through meditation, and it helps keeps us where things aren't personal and we could just actually see, oh, I see he was having a hard time when he said that in kind of a mean way, instead of, what did he mean by that? So you see, it helps keep us more neutral and more watching the whole picture instead of everything being so personal. So I actually wanted to say that. Try to do your meditation every day and do that. So one thing in my meetup, the last meetup I had a new woman there who I so enjoyed, and she was sharing with me how she has everything is perfect in her life. Her career she's happy with, her social life, her health, her spiritual practice, she meditates, everything. And she said, but why can't I find a life partner? And she's like, no matter what I do, like I've read books, I've done, so many things. I've done counseling. She's done everything that she believes within her power, and why can't she find a life partner? And instantly, so when people speak to me, the way I counsel is I get visions and insights and hear messages and all these things at once, and sometimes it's so much that I actually stop the person in the middle of what they're saying because I have to convey this. Again, if someone comes to me for insight and counseling, I will stop them to give them the insight that is coming. And for her, it was, I pointed out for one that she is dating, and because she shared that. So it's not that she's not manifesting this partner in her life, it's just that she's looking for specific qualities. So what I've said to people before is, if you're dating a lot but nothing's happening, I want you to check in with your own, see where your truth is, and see if you have too narrow of a focus, meaning that there's this very strong checklist that has to be 100%, or are you too open, and as long as they want to date you, you go forward with it because you're terrified to be alone. Both of those are out of balance. But what I'd like is for you to have more patience, to see that everything is timing. And what I told her was, instead of focusing that you don't have a partner right now, and that you're clinging so much to that, and that's so much energy. I don't have a partner. I don't have a partner. Will I ever have a partner? I'm doing everything right. Why don't I have a partner? I told her to focus on all the glorious moments she has left in her single life. And she, I saw her mind tweak a little bit. And I said, I'm serious. The freedom, think of this, the freedom to come home after work, to eat what you want or not eat, to watch whatever you want on TV, to do whatever activities, to walk around naked, to not have to shave your legs. I know that's for women, maybe men too. To do whatever you want in your free time, every moment instead of, when you focus on your loneliness and where is your partner, it's called pivoting. Repivot your thoughts to think about, boy, I love this freedom. I love that my house is as clean as I want it to be and as quiet as I want it to be, and I could do anything I want this weekend. And this is not pushing out the possibility of a partner to coming, but this is a way of creating an appreciation and an acceptance of what is, being present, and thinking in terms of, this is so exciting that I'm going to memorize these last weeks or months of being single because I'll never have it again. Because what I know is when I do have my life partner, it's the good old till death do us part, or till it runs its course, or I don't know where you're at. Anyways, so that is my advice to any of you out there. And I suspect two things may reveal themselves in time. The first is appreciation for your own company when you do something like that. So as I was saying before, and Marta brought up, that one thing to do in partnership is throughout the day, every time someone does the subtlest thing, to do a text or say it right away or name it and say, I so appreciate that. I just love that. I love that you made dinner. I love that you took the dogs out. You know, I love that you texted me. I just love it when you check in. It makes me so happy to see an email from you, like things like that. But to learn to do that for yourself, that appreciation, it does feed you. It does feed your soul and brings a deep peace. So, again, we can only have as deep a connection with another person as we have discovered with ourselves. So when we connect out of want or need, because we need companionship so much, I don't suspect it will be too good of odds of it sustaining itself in a satisfactory way. So appreciation is available when we connect to ourselves and we feel whole with ourselves. So the next thing to contemplate is the second arising revelation of noticing all of your single moments, may be authentically seeing you have done so many things, so much of the above, and you enjoy your own company so much, and there's so much space and appreciation, yet there's that curious mind I'm talking about, where there's an opening, where there's a new thought. Wouldn't it be wonderful to learn new things about a new person, to learn how I can adapt and mold and meld and create new experiences with someone new? And with that, there's these ideas with that spaciousness in your mind, not in a grasping or an aversion, but in a curiosity that I'm open to this, that, I would love to experience that if it's there. So this humility perhaps might be an antidote to help get past expectations or negative control that often play a part, and to actually just have what if? What if? Wouldn't that be something? And again, it's as light as that. Okay, I have enjoyed this. I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day, whatever you do. And if you would like to reach me for any of my coaching or comments on my podcasts or for workshops, and I am 30 years as a licensed esthetician and instructor. I own schools in Maui and massage and various things. So I still do a couple of those workshops here in Austin. So I don't have any scheduled right now, but if anyone out there, I'm doing some in South Austin. I'm going to do one the end of June in Maui, and I charge $250. I'll teach dermaplaning is one, nano or microneedling is another, and I do sell the Dermapen, which is a physician grade, for $11.95. It's the starter kit. It has 5 nano and 5 microneedles, and it has the heavenly pharmaceutical hyaluronic acid serum with it, 2 ounce. And then I teach microdermabrasion with and without crystals. It's a salt machine. It's called Salternative Machine. I am a distributor of that, and that is just under $7,000. And that also has an oxygen facial attachment to that. And I will do training online. Or if you're in Austin, come here. And yes, and then I still teach lash extensions, and that comes with a kit, and that is $600, and that's enough for 20 to 40 sets. So it's either going to be 40 natural sets or 20 dramatic sets, and we'll teach you both of these. So please share my podcast, follow, like, and comment, and you can contact me at Samana, SAMANA, at SPALUNA.com, or my website, spaluna, SPALUNA.com. Aloha. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend.